Hi, this is Jen Simon talking to you today from Frappanaise. I wanted to share with you a little story that I've been thinking about lately, and it has to do with my wok. Now, I like to cook. I really like to cook. It's a pretty big pastime of mine. And one of the things that I've never owned is a wok. I'm not really sure why this is. It's like, I think there have been times when I thought that maybe owning a wok would be a good idea because I wanted to make tempura or some kind of stir fry. I think maybe I owned one when I was younger and it was really big and it didn't really fit in the sink, and so I decided that woks were kind of not very useful item for day-to-day cooking. So anyway, I didn't have a wok for ages, and recently, I happened to come into possession of a wok. The way this occurred is that we used to have a camper, and the camper lived in our yard. I mean, well, we used to use our camper. Obviously, when we bought our camper, we used it a lot. We had small children. But as our children got older, we didn't use the camper as much until for the past few years. Maybe we only took it once a year or not even that. And we finally decided to sell the camper. And when we sold it, my husband removed everything from inside it, and we discovered that there was a lot of kitchen supplies inside it, including this wok. Now, I did not buy this wok. I think what happened was we got the camper, and on our way up to Canada to go camping, we stopped at my husband's parents' house in Bellingham, and mentioned that we didn't have a lot of things to cook with, and I think that they gave us, you know, whatever they happened to have in their closet that they didn't need, which was probably a lot because my in-laws tend to hold on to things. You know, they keep stuff even if they don't use it much. So, however, a wok is not terribly useful in a camper. We had a 16-foot camper. This was not a large camper, so we never used it. So when it appeared in my driveway during my husband's clean out, I was like, I didn't know that this existed. So it went, because I couldn't talk my husband into donating everything from the camper right away, I put it with my other kitchen supplies, thinking I was never going to use it. But then I found myself wanting to fry some peppers, and I was like, well, I don't want to get splattered by the grease, so I guess I'll use the wok. When I started using this wok, I was like, this is incredible. You can fry, you can flip. The oil sizzles, but it doesn't actually hit you. It was wonderful. And the thing is, the first thought in my mind when this happened was, I should get a better wok. It was odd because I was using a wok and I was enjoying using the wok, but my first thought was that I didn't like this wok. I wanted a better wok. Now, I must explain that it is not the greatest wok in the world. I will show you the wok. This is the wok I'm talking about, and I'm guessing that you can't tell what it looks like that well from being on YouTube. But it's not the most awesome wok ever. It is pretty small, it's got little dents in the non-stickness of it, and it's kind of got a plastic handle. I'm kind of being a snob, I know, about my cooking supplies. But the thing is, like, my favorite is my beautiful little Cephalon frying pan. See, this is the type of thing that I want to think of myself as cooking with. Sort of nice and beautiful things that make my stovetop look as lovely as, you know, the rest of my house. And this wok is not it. This is not the wok I want to be identified with. However, as I am on a journey of trying to live in a smaller way, buying less and using less and discarding less, I came to realize that it didn't matter what my wok looked like. In fact, my time with this wok is limited anyway because the non-stick surface is only going to last so long. I mean, it's the sad truth about non-stick surfaces. You could buy a really crummy pan with a non-stick surface or a really expensive pan with a non-stick surface, and eventually the non-stick surface is going to come off and you're going to have to replace the pan. And that is probably going to happen, and by the time that happens, I will probably be so attached to this wok that I'm going to be really sad about seeing it go, because it is a really nice small size. A lot of woks that I saw that I've seen over my lifetime have been these sort of giant monstrosities, because the people who owned them owned these kitchens that were really big, and they'd put in, you know, sort of custom grills that had 6 burners, and they had these enormous woks and in order to wash these woks, they needed a giant sink. This wok, however, it lived for 5 years in a 16-foot camper, and I didn't even know it was there. So I've decided to embrace this wok. This is the wok I have, and this is the wok I should enjoy, and I should see the good things about the wok. For example, the handle doesn't heat up. There's a little bit of rubber on it and some plastic, and it doesn't heat up, and it actually is still attached. I have this problem because I go like this when I cook, that I unattach the handles of things, even kind of expensive pots and pans. I sometimes screw up. This one's never gonna come off because it's on there really well, so I can go like this all I want. But I will say that considering this is not the world's fanciest wok, the handle's still on it pretty well, and the handle doesn't heat up. One of the problems with pans where you've got the long metal handle is that the handle eventually does heat up if you leave it on simmer. So this is my wok. I've learned to love it because it is the wok I have. And me and my wok have cooked some wonderful things. We've decided to start cooking potato chips, and we've been frying little peppers, and I've been using it sometimes to make eggs if I want to make them certain types of ways, and this has become my friend the wok. And even though it came from a place I do not know, it has joined me on life's journey, and it is here to stay. That's my story. I hope that you guys have a great week, and I will be back next week to talk to you about something else. I'm not sure what. Click below to subscribe to Frappinés and hear about my other journeys in household keeping. Take care. Bye.